Welcome everyone to the first part in our third club here in the European Journeyman. If you're new to the save, if you're new to the series, go check out the playlist on the channel. We have already done 2 clubs in the European Journeyman. Watch the first episode where we do job hunting. You'll see all the rules and regulations of this save. But if you are caught up and you are aware of what's going on, we've got a job on our hands. So obviously we've moved clubs, as you can see in the job history. Spoilers, if you haven't watched the old videos, do not watch more from this point. Go into the playlist and start from the beginning. But if you are caught up, then you will of course know, if I can press the button right, we have moved from Tabor Jena in Slovenia into AGF in the 3F Superliga. So we are in Denmark. We are doing some new stuff. We've obviously got quite a bit of work in our hands. Financially, the club is a mess. We are £10 million overdrawn. We did get our money from finishing. Weirdly enough, there's money that you get for finishing in the preliminary phase. But I don't get this because we haven't actually played it yet. We haven't played the last game. So I don't know why we've been given 742k. I don't know what this is for. And why we've got it at this point in the season. Seems very odd. Why have we got this on 18th of March? It's not the end of the season. It's not even the end of the preliminary phase. Very confusing, but we've received some money, so we're not going to complain about it. That has helped a little bit. But we are very much... my voice, very much in debt. As you can see, financially, the club have lost most of their money this season. They are spending massively over the wage budget, and the transfer budget is in negative numbers. It was negative numbers. So we have a transfer budget of 177k. Currently, the club is spending 275k. So I've made a start. We've went through the club. I've pretty much worked out my 11, and I think I've got a bench. That's good. So I've done a little bit of jiggery pokery, moved some players from the B team into the first team, transfer listed a ton of players. So this is what I'm going to go with. So the club don't really have any good attacking mids, and they do have a fair number of strikers, though none of them are particularly any good. So this is what we're going with. Now, this is just provisional. This may change. It depends on how players play. But this is the team that we're going to go with. So, unfortunately, Hutters is literally the only goalkeeper at the club who's even half decent. And he's honking. So he's going to play. That is a honking haircut as well. I mean, I can't really talk because my hairline's receding worse than anything. But that is a honking haircut. Hutters, if you're watching... I don't know. Just do it. It looks like it's been cut with a knife and fork. Just maybe get a professional one. I don't know. He seems like a nice lad, but he is going to be our goalkeeper. He's out of contract at the end of the year anyway. So if he doesn't like the video, then I'm sorry. That's a nice hair, but he's got nice hair. Felix Bejimo is going to be our right back. We've then got a midfield 2 of Mikkel Fischer, who will avoid any criticism because he's got no photo, and Terry Yegby, a Ghanaian 28-year-old. Eric Karl is our left back. He is Swedish. We've got Loyola, the Chilean, 28-year-old, as the ball-winning midfielder. We've then got this guy who looks like a star. He's on a contract till 2031. He's only on $5,000 a week. He's homegrown through the academy. Yeah, he's perfect. He's exactly the kind of player we need to be building around. He's very, very good at going forward. He can play ball winner. He can play playmaker. So regardless of who we bring in, he's in the team. He's a star player, star boy, Magnus Nagel. He's even got a contract extension on him, so we've actually got him till 2032. He's a leading player at 18 years old. He can improve a lot. He's been playing for the last 2 seasons. We're going to get the most out of this lad, I can tell you. On the right, we've got Tobias Beck, a 27-year-old Danish winger. We've then got Gift Links, a 30-year-old South African winger on the left. And then we've got 2 up front. We've went for Thomas Brockstedt, who has... he didn't come through our academy. He actually came through Esberg's academy. They paid a very nominal fee for him. He's very rarely played, and when he has played, he's been rubbish, so he may not stay in the team, but he's got good potential. He's not that great now, but he's very quick, and I'm hoping to use that to the advantage of the team. He's going to be our pressing forward, and then we're having to put a winger up top. Now, this might not work. This may not cook, but this is the idea. Tobias Bach is going to be up front. He's got a contract till 2030. He is on a lot of money, but he looks pretty good. He's a good 3F Superliga player. He's only got 3 goals and 5 assists, but he does get a very good average rating, so perhaps playing him up front will help him. Apparently, these 2 don't play together well, so Loyola would probably be the one missing there. Of course, as you can see, what do we need to work on? Well, we definitely need a new goalkeeper, we definitely need a ball-winning midfielder, and we definitely need a striker, and probably better wingers, and probably another centre-back. But other than that, I'm quite happy. The only players in the starting 11 that are out of contract is the goalkeeper. The right back is out of contract in December of 2029, so we don't really need to do anything with him until then. Now, he's the biggest earner at the club, and he's 31-year-old, and he's only kind of good. So I'm very willing to just let him go, to be honest, probably in the summer. But for now, we'll keep him. On the bench, we've got a keeper in that we brought up from the B team, so he's just going to sit on the bench. There's a player in on loan from Nantes. He is just going to be on the bench. He can play ball winner. He can play the centre-back. Should we put him as the ball winner midfielder, actually? No, I'm looking at him. Maybe. He may go in there. Fisher can apparently play ball winner as well, but it's 6'2". We definitely want him as centre back. We've got this Turkish guy, Karatas, as our second choice left back. We've got Kanagard is a young centre back. He actually looks really good. He's a leading player at just 22. Actually, he looks better than him at 28. Do we swap these round? Do we swap them round? Are you homegrown? He is homegrown. I think we swap them round. I think Kanagard comes in for Yegbay. How is he? Oh, he's only 5'10". How? Okay, no, you're not going to be playing centre back then. I think we need to retrain him because 5'10". I'm 5'10", so it's no diss. But that is not centre back height. I think he's a ball winning midfielder. He's got good marking, good tackling. He can run. His work rate isn't the best, but I think he is a ball winning midfielder. So I'm going to train him there. Yep, and we're going to retrain him to play there. I think that's where he plays. We then have Nick Ulam, who is a deep line playmaker, 18-year-old, brought up from the B team. Looks good, lots of potential. Leading second-tier player, but he's got lots of potential. We then have Yusuf Badji, is a Senegalese striker, winger. He can play pretty much anywhere, just a squad player. Glenn Rash is a 18-year-old Danish winger, can also play up front, lots of potential. And one thing we'll have to do is use these young players because we don't have money to bring in players. We probably won't have much money, if any money, to bring in players in the summer. So unless I can get a couple of the Tabors to Jena boys on cheaps or some free contracts on not much wages, we're probably working with what we've got for at least a little bit. We obviously have a goalkeeper who's joining us in the summer. So he's joining us in 1st of July, and he looks pretty good, so he should be a decent replacement. Marvin Seybold, so we probably don't need to worry about bringing a keeper in unless he's honking, but he looks good from what I can see on the stats. But we probably won't be signing lots of players for money, so we do need to rely and try and improve these youngsters and try and get them integrated in the team because they're on low wages. So the next one on the bench is Christian Poulsen. He is out of contract in June and is open to exploring the end of his contract. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going. He's got 5-star potential, 2.5-star ability, could improve a lot. He's yet to make a senior appearance, so we're definitely calling him up before anyone else was. He's quick, and he's 6'1". He's got very good finishing, decent off the ball, doesn't work very hard, which I'm noticing on a lot of these players, which is not great for a gegenpress system. So, yeah, he's out of contract. We'll try and get a new deal for him. He doesn't want to do one just yet. But hopefully when he comes to the end of his contract, we'll be able to offer him a deal and no one else has. And then the last one is Lars Tidemand, an 18-year-old Danish striker. Again, very quick, not really that good at anything else, but he looks decent. Second-tier player, again, another one who's not made an appearance. There's just not many strikers at the club. So Badji would probably be first choice to replace one of our strikers, but he's also a winger. Grash is probably the winger, and then these boys can play on wing or up front. Well, obviously, he can play on the wing and up front. So there's a bit of rotation there, a bit of opportunity for moving players around, putting certain players in. But I think this is the 11 we're going to go with. Again, Badji may come in once he's fit. At the minute, he's not fit, so he's not playing. But this is the team we're going with. We obviously need a new goalkeeper. That's not going to happen until the end of the season. So that's it. And then, obviously, outside of that, I have identified the players I want to get rid of. So these are all the players I want to get rid of. They're either just kind of old, so 31-year-old and on 15 grand a week, or they're out of contract, 6.5 grand a week. He's out of contract. He's not very good and 31. He's on 5 grand a week. 10 grand a week, 23, not that good. In a position we just don't need that many players. Again, another centre mid, we don't need him. So, yeah, there's just a lot of players we don't need. So we've identified those. And then in the B team, there's a hell of a lot more. Pretty much everyone in here, bar a couple of youngsters. we have pretty much sold on. So a couple of these lads have got really good potential. Unfortunately, this one is already joining Copenhagen, so unfortunately they've messed up there. We got a new contract. We extended this guy's contract. He might be the only ones. I think if I look in the development center. So Casper Green is in the under-19s. We have offered him a new deal to stay beyond 2029. He's the one joining Copenhagen. Are you also here? Yeah, so we've offered him a contract, Tobias Zako Har. And I think that's it. So pretty much everyone else is on the transfer list. We've already got bids for some of them. A lot of them are wanted. A lot of them are out of contract in June. A lot of them are out of contract in December of this year. Under 19s, there's less of them, but similar sort of thing. So a lot of these boys will just be kicking around until their contracts are out. I mean, he's not on any wages. He's on £550 a week. So again, pretty much anyone who's not first team ready or has potential to be a very good player at the club, we're just trying to move on. We just don't have the money to be keeping a B team going and a under 19s, really good going. So already, like I say, got bids for players. At the minute, it's totaling about 23 grand of wages. Obviously, we need to try and free up about 100k, so we're about a quarter of the way there, and then bringing in about 1.5 million. We're obviously going to take fees that are less than their valuation. We just need money in, and we don't need these players taking up wages. So we need players who influence the first team. B team and under 19s, I couldn't care less. So we just need to improve the finances, which is what we're doing. One thing that will also help us financially is getting into Europe. So the situation as it is, we are 21 games into the season. We play one more game in what is called the preliminary phase in this league. Once that is done, we will then, because we are in the bottom half, go into a relegation stage. So this is where the 7th through 12th, we'll go into a mini little league group ourselves. So from Norgeland or potentially Silkeborg. I mean, I guess this could still change up here, but all of us from, Viborg are too far behind. So Viborg down to us and one other team from up here will be in the relegation group. So we are basically competing to not get relegated. However, top finishes in a European places playoff. Now, again, I don't know exactly how that works because these are also in a playoff, but that depends on the winner of the cup. We're already out of the cup. The cup winner goes into the Europa League playoff. So I don't know if it's just you get into this and then is that the playoff for the actual Europa League, or is it it's not the places playoff. So I don't know how it works. So if you're not already qualified for a European competition, which we won't be, then we could potentially be playing in a European playoff for a European place, which I would imagine is the Conference League or something. I'm very confused. I don't know exactly how it works. Apparently the Europa League, this is a European. So if you finish 4th, you have to compete to get into Europe. But if you finish 5th, you go straight into Europe. I don't know how it works. We'll just play it by ear. We may or may not have a chance to get into Europe. That's basically the scenario. But today's episode, we are going to play our very first game as manager against Viborg FF, who are still could potentially get into 6th, so they might have something to play for. But realistically, they are pretty far behind. As you can see, the club have lost a lot of games over half. Well, not exactly half, but you know what I mean. A little bit over, just over half, literally half over half. There's a lot of confusions. They don't draw many, but they have they don't win many either. So just the 6 wins, and when they did win, they kept clean sheets. So the problem this team has is clearly not scoring enough, because you look at the losses. There are a lot of 1-goal losses. It's not, a lot of those 2-1s could have been 2-2s, or a lot of those 1-0s could have been 1-1 and 2-1. They're not there's only a couple of times they've really been battered, and they've never really been battered. It was 3-0 losses to teams up in the top. So that's the way it goes. So at the minute, the past winners have all been Copenhagen. At the minute, Midtjylland are actually top of the league, so definitely a battle there. But you would fancy Copenhagen to get it. We are, of course, going to finish off this season in hopefully top of this little mini group, but there's no guarantee. We'll see how we go. We are 7 points behind 7th at the minute, so we'll see where we are after today. But we do have our last game of the preliminary phase, our first game as manager. Again, there's not much riding on it, so we go into it with a little bit of no pressure. The only thing we need to do is make sure we don't get off to too poor a start, because obviously playing in this relegation group, all the bad teams play each other, so there's chance for bad teams to pick up more points than they probably would if they played the good teams. But we've been rambling for quite a bit now, so we will get on with the episode. So this is the team we're going with. We obviously talked you through it, so let us submit the team, give some squad numbers out. Obviously, some of these lads have never played before, or at least never even made the bench before, and hopefully we can get off to a winning start. We are, of course, playing... They're first in the form table. Oh God! Right. Well, we're in for a tough do. Right. So we have not won in 5. We've lost 4 out of 5. Honestly, I take a draw. Just end the preliminary phase with something positive. Let's just take a draw. I would take a draw. A win would be amazing. We were, of course, playing a 4-2-2, so pretty different to what we've been playing. Just on a general squad sort of, what's it called? A general squad overview. I think the attack is pretty poor. And Tobias Back gets the first goal for the club just 4 minutes in. There is VAR in this league. They're checking it, but it's been awarded. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. The first goal in the Destro era of AGF comes in the 4th minute. Tobias Back, or the 5th minute. Tobias Back links up with Lynx. Gary Lynx, I don't think that's his name, but Lynx gets us ahead through a lovely pass to Back. But what I was saying, which doesn't seem so accurate now, it seems as if the defense is a lot better than the attack. Like, besides the goalkeeper, the back line's pretty good, but the attack is rubbish. The midfield is not great either, to be honest, but the defense looks pretty good. I was looking at it, and like the wing back, the full backs are all good to leading Super League players. The centre backs are all very good. The centre backs are the best part about this club. There's a lot of them, and they're all pretty good, but they do get themselves back in, and that is where this club probably have trouble, because they probably don't have more than 1 goal in them. Hutters is honking. We need a new goalkeeper. Unfortunately, like I say, we just won't get one till the end of the season. So we'll do our best. Bejimo whips in a corner. Lynx picks up the ball. Everyone's basically playing for a contract. No one besides probably that homegrown centre mid is tied down to this club long term. In terms of their position, Bouchet does really well there. Plays him Back, who's finished it again. And Tobias Back, I mean, he's a winger. We're playing him as a forward. Okay, this time it's been disallowed. Linesman didn't do his job there because he didn't raise his flag. I thought it would have been onside because usually the linesman raises his flag. He looked offside, to be fair. But I thought he might have just been offside because the linesman didn't raise his flag. Disappointing, but there you go. Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we can do, we're just trying to put all of the players into the best positions, of course, but there's not many good strikers, so we're having to play a winger up front. But he scored 2. Now, obviously, one of them got disallowed, but it was a very good finish. So I'm not going to complain about him. 1 iota. We're honestly not looking bad. The other back, we got 2 backs. Oh, we've got a Beck and a Back. That's going to be very confusing. Beck has an effort. I think it was Beck. I don't know if it was Beck or Back. One of them had an effort, and it did go wide. And now Viborg are cutting inside, trying to get themselves back. Oh, trying to get themselves in front. But we do go into the half 1-1, and this is a lot of fans. I'm not used to managing in front of so many fans. We'll tell the boys we're not happy. Of course, I'm very happy, but I know how to play the game. Seems like everyone's fit, which is good. No one's really having a honker besides Beck. Yusuf Badji's not fit. We don't really want to bring the kids on when we're doing all right, so we'll leave everything as is. Hopefully Beck will improve second half with a bit of a telling off. But we could definitely lose this game, absolutely. And that's a very silly... What is he doing? Oh, no wonder this club are in absolute state. What the hell is Hutters doing there? He comes flying out when the defence had it covered, leaving an open goal. Hang on, isn't that the Blanco? Oh my God, this guy won't... He just follows us around. He won't stop. He just can't leave him. He was at Olympia. He was causing us problems in the Slovenian league. Now he's magically gone on loan to the club we're playing next. I can't get rid of him. And he scored against us as well. Genuinely can't get rid of the guy. We are 2-1 down. We are losing. But like I say, it's a work in progress. We are 3 days into the job. It is not going to just, we're not just going to come in and start winning every game. But we could draw this game. Eric Carl gets his first goal of the season. Lovely to see it. 2-2. And this is where I think the 4-2-2 might suit this team, because it is more attacking, just in nature. And obviously this team cannot score a lot of goals. So obviously we are putting a bit more pressure on the back line to do their job a bit better. And this goalkeeper, honking, he is so bad. I looked at trying to bring a free agent in. There's just no good free agents, unfortunately, of goalkeepers. So we will have to just kind of put up with him until the end of the season. We will make a change, though. We will bring Lars Tidemand on for his very first appearance. Go and get yourself a debut goal, son. Make yourself a hero in front of the AGF fans. But he comes on the right-hand side. You know what? Links was someone I had eyed up for on the chopping board. He's got 2 assists today. So at 30 years old, he is a high earner. But if he keeps putting in performances like that, we'll just keep him on for his contract. So Begimo whips in the corner. Oh, I thought Fisher was going to score. Fisher puts it wide. There's a lot of tired players. The problem is I don't really like any of the bench players. We'll bring Glenn Rash on as well. Another youngster. I think he's played before. He's played a couple games. So we're not giving him his debut, unfortunately. But we're sending a message. We are going to be giving the kids some game time. So if they can come out and do something, then they'll definitely be getting more game time. Yegbe plays a ball, lovely ball out to Begimo. Begimo into Tidemand on his debut. It's a terrible ball in, but it falls to Rash. Also, another youngster whips it into Beck. Back. It pinballed around. It goes out for a corner. I thought we were going to get a goal there. Carl Pilkington on the corner, looking to whip it in. Whips it in, and it's just headed over by Fisher. Still a work in progress, the corners. We're still working on them. No worries. We are only 3 points ahead of second bottom. It looks like Kolding IF are going to finish rock bottom, so they've probably taken up 1 relegation spot. But we definitely need to be a little bit conscious that we're not safe of relegation. We absolutely need to improve on what the club's been getting recently. And I think that is an improvement. A decent result. These have obviously been first in the form table, so there can't be a bad side. And we've got a draw, so I'm going to say I'm not happy, but in reality, I'm actually not too bad with that. That is pretty much a result. If we got that in the relegation phase, that probably keeps us up, because these lads are probably losing most of their games. Aalborg did win today, so I don't know who's going to finish second bottom. This is worrying. It could be us. I would hate that. We don't want to get relegated. We definitely don't want to get relegated. So this is what I just don't get. I mean, if the game's just going to keep giving us money, it definitely helps. So that's definitely helped the financial situation a little bit. So we've got 675k, and we have qualified. That's a weird way of saying it. We've qualified for the relegation stage. Well done. Well done. What a name. Gift Links. Where have you been playing? He's been here ages. Is he homegrown? Don't know why I said it like that. He is Danish, though, so he counts as homegrown as nation. He's been here forever. So I'm just going to come in and get rid of him. These have not been relegated. These have been in this league for a while. Wow. Okay, so he's basically a legend of the club. How many appearances has he got for this club? 283 in total, but most of these are, few and far between. Just the one season where he started in South Africa, went to Egypt, then came back to South Africa. He's had a very interesting career, then went to Denmark. All right, whatever. And there's actually a fair decent TV money. So nearly all, I think that must be all of our games are in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 out of 10 are on TV. So there's a bit of, so you get about 30k per game. And a lot of our games do seem to get on camera, on TV. So we're getting about 30k a game. So that should help out with the situation a little bit. Obviously, another 250k gets us down. Yeah, we could be okay. Obviously, there's a lot of money that comes in. Sponsorship-wise, there is a bit of debt at the club. So the TV money pretty much covers that. But yeah, not a bad start. Definitely not a perfect start, but we've done okay. So we're in the relegation stage now. So there's no thing where I was curious about this. So yeah, you just start with 100% of your points. I think in Belgium you get your points halved or something. So is there a gap? No, a little bit of a gap between March and April. So we'll come back for Kolding, who are bottom of the league. So definitely a good chance for us to pick up 3 points and try and fight to get it, because I don't want to look behind us. I want to look ahead of us, but we do need to be conscious of what's behind us. Now, the board aren't judging, so I wonder if we were to get relegated, they would even sack us. Because apparently they're not judging it, which is crazy. I think they should be judging it. They should definitely say, just stay up. But a draw, not a bad result against second top of this little group. So, yeah, let's try and get a win. Try and put some wins together. So we play everyone twice. So Kolding, hopefully by then we will have some actual confirmed transfers leaving. And what we need to do is try and get this committed spending down to around something like this number or this number. That's the goal. So we are at the game against Kolding. So let me just show you what we've done in the meantime. A few players we've already managed to move on. So as you can see, whereabouts did we start with this? It was here. So a lot of these lads you won't have heard of because they were just sitting in our B team. So Karel Tishankbund, whatever, 23-year-old Frenchman, not good enough. He's went to Tromsø in Sweden, Norway for £89,000. Henrik Peterson, a young Danish lad, not good enough. He's left to Asan in Norway on a free. Carsten Dessler, a Danish player, again, never going to be good enough. He's went for 115k to Halmstad. Christian Ostergaard was one of the players in the first team. He was on a fair, decent wage. They signed him for 825k. Played him 3 games. We've made a loss, about 200k down the drain. But there you go. He's went to Molde for 625k. Magnus Nielsen, he is a young Danish player. He's went to Halmstad BK. And all of these lads, they didn't have that big of potential, so it's not like a big loss. 215k for a player like that is amazing. Christian Hagens, 51k to Badalona in Spain. And then Alexander Bangsbo, a young goalkeeper. He's went to, again, Halmstad in Sweden. They're just swapping up, just sweeping up all our young players. No players in, of course. Obviously, as you can see, a few of the boys that came in are already out, so pretty poor. But we started to get some funds up. Balance is now 9.5 million. We have sold, we have agreed deals for a hell of a lot of players. They are all, a lot of these lads are leaving the club. So as you can see, in total, about £4 million coming in, 36 grand on the wage. As you can see, we've actually got a transfer budget now, which if we start moving this into wage budget, we can, obviously we're not going to be bringing any players in, so we can start to fix the wage budget issue, which really helps us if we just go all the way there. So we're about 18k under over wages still, but yeah, we are looking to bring obviously some more players. We're looking to sell some more, so that should hopefully end up being it. Obviously this has added quite a few clauses to the club as well, so quite a few players will be, money will be trickling in every season from all these different clauses, so we're setting the future up quite nicely here at AGF. We still have a lot of money to bring in, and we didn't really affect the first team squad, so obviously still trying to move some players on. There's still some players we haven't had bids for yet, so we'll keep working on it. We'll keep showing you the ones that get confirmed. I'm not going to show you the ones that are that haven't left yet. We'll talk about them as they leave, probably in the January in the transfer special. So those will all leave pretty much 1st of July. I think a couple of them are a little bit different. Some of them are in June, but most of them leave 1st of July. So 1st of July, free transfer day, we will have all our players. So this is the scenario going into the game. A couple of teams have played. A couple of teams have played. So we are very much in with a shout of getting up to 3rd in this group, which would put us just 3 points behind Nordsjælland. We play bottom of the league. Nordsjælland play Aalborg. So good chance for us to hopefully get ahead, and we need to look over our shoulders, of course. We need to make sure we don't get relegated. We're going with the same 11. Loyola picked up a little bit of a knock, but he should be fine. And these are bottom of the league, so if we're going to win, we really need to win against these lot. We need to do the double over these, because these are on 13 points, bottom of the league. They are really bad. But so are we. So we definitely need to get a good result here. We obviously did get a decent result against Viborg. As you can see, we've turned one of those last 5 results into a better result. So that's how the league table looks. I like it. We are currently, as I say, 4 points clear of the drop, but we need to try and make that 6 points clear. That's obviously with Aalborg having a game in hand. These are playing a very defensive formation, which tells you how bad they are. So hopefully, with our 4-2-4, 4-2-2, we should be able to win this game. But you never know. Obviously, I don't know much about these boys yet. I know that we conceded 2. I know that we scored 2, which tells me there's something going forward. And if we can just tighten up at the back, then we can get things going. But Tobias Beck, who was actually the worst performer in the game last game, and this is what I mean. It's too early. I'm not going to start making judgments on players just yet. This is the 11 I've settled on. We'll give them a few games, hopefully start to see things click, and hopefully we can get up this league table. The interesting thing is all these teams play each other, so the permutations will be forever changing, but we will have 9 games after this one to hopefully try and, I don't know what to aim for. I don't know whether to aim just to stay up or aim for that European spot. But see, I think it's because I'm so unclear about what that is. I can't really aim for it. So my aim is just to stay up. If we do anything more, then great. The aim in the meantime, off the field, try and sort out the finances. Of course, we want to try and bring some players in, but we need to fix the club's finances. We can't just go spending money that isn't there. I need to be sensible with it. Bajimo tips in, or skips inside. And Thomas Brockstedt, our young striker, who I wasn't sure of in the last game, but he gets a goal to make it 2-0. And we are looking good going forward. We scored 2 against Viborg, who were definitely not a bad side, first in the form table. And now we're winning 2-0. So could be okay. We could be okay. Like I say, we obviously need a goalkeeper. We know that. Liking the look of the right mid. I'm definitely liking the look of Links at left wing as well. He is on a fair whack, but he looks decent. For the young midfielder, he's got a very good profile, and he's got a very good coach report, and not all the star rating looks good. I haven't seen too much of him in these 2 games yet, so hopefully see a bit more of him. I'm definitely liking the look of the fullbacks. They both look good. Lovely ball over the top to Links, and that's a fantastic finish, and we're 3-0 up. Keep in mind, this team are really bad that we're playing, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. But could we potentially get top of this group, and whatever that permutation is with Europe, potentially could be something we will get. I think we've got to aim for it. I think we don't want to be looking over our shoulders, but it's very, very close, and there's not a lot of games in it. So realistically, we need to kind of have both in mind. We could both think about going forward, as well as, you know, let's not lose anything at the back. So we will make a couple substitutions. Lars Tidemand needs some game time, so we're going to bring him on. We won't bring anyone just yet. We do need to get Badgie back involved. I need to see what he's about, whether I want to sell him or not. Apparently he's got some off. I mean, if someone wants to bid for him, I might sell Badgie, because we need the money. Nick Ullum, are you youngster? Yeah, you're a youngster, so we should probably be giving you some game time. So you can come on for Nagel, who's been okay, but I think, like I say, we need to give some youngsters some game time. Kanagaard, I want to build into a ball-winning midfielder. Has he learned it yet? No. We need to give him some game time to learn it, though. I think he'd be a very good ball-winning midfielder once we can do it. We're 3-0 up. I think we can afford to do that. You know what? We won't bring Nagel off. We'll do that. We'll just bring him on. This is the perfect time to bring him on and hopefully show him the ropes, teach him a little bit about this role, give him some game time in the role. Hopefully he learns it. And there is Kanagaard. He's naturally a centre-back, but he's 5'10". That to me don't scream centre-back. That screams midfielder, more like it. So Yegbe carrying the ball forward. Good work there by Nagel. First time pass. Links looks very tidy. Late Nagel, lovely ball inside. If that's what he's got in store, then I'm very happy with Nagel. I think he's going to be, like I say, the star of the team for a bit. Bejimo does well. Goes back to Kanagaard. Has Kanagaard got enough technical ability to play in midfield? That's the other thing. I think Beck's offside here. He is offside. The linesman raises his flag. No surprise there. It will remain 3-0. But I'm very happy. If we get a draw and a win out of our first 2 games as manager, I'm happy with that. So I'm thinking for the next episode, we won't go too far ahead. We are still very new at this club. We definitely want to show some games in this little relegation scrap thing. Links does well to pick up the ball on the counter. It looks very quick, does Links. Carries it really nicely. Nagel now goes back to Carl, who, again, he looks really good. I'm quite liking the look of some of these players. I don't think it needs open heart surgery in the way that a lot of the rubbish needs moving on. But the first team is not terrible. It's just a couple of key positions needs improving. I think you get a really good ball-winning midfielder in. We've already got a keeper lined up. I'll wait and see what he's like before I go out and get another one. I think he'll be okay looking at his stats. Definitely better than what we've got. I think we need a striker to partner. Potentially 2 strikers, really. No penalty given there. And probably a better centre-back than Yegbe, but that's not on the high list. The high list is goalkeeper, which is already sorted. Really, for me, it's centre mid and striker. I think that's the 2 positions we need to prioritise. As much as I want to go out and bring Banachek in and, Jake O'Brien and Jorg Mesa, none of those are positions that we really need. Noel Murillo, probably not to this level. Don't think any of the other centre mids really fit the bill either. Goalkeeper, we probably could do a Gauki, but I don't know if he'd be cheap enough. So if we can bring in some of the old Tabor Sejena boys, then we definitely will. But it's not top of my list. But that was another good goal from back there. So we will bring Badgie on for Brockstedt. We'll bring Poulsen on. Yeah, he's out of contract, but if we can get him some game time. He's never played before either, has he? No, so Christian Poulsen will make his debut. Hopefully that will give him a bit of an impetus to stay. Tidemand will bring on the right. And we'll bring Glenn Rash on as well. We'll just get all the youngsters on up top. Why not? For the last 20 minutes, we're 4-0 up. And this is what, like I say, we need to get involved with bringing the youngsters in. So we did get a batch of youth players come through. It wasn't as good as the preview suggested. It was a 5-star preview. Definitely no wonder kids, but a couple of decent players, some 5-star potentials. No one with like crazy current ability. So I'll show you it very quickly after this game, but no one that you look at and go, yeah, you go straight in the first team. You're amazing. But very happy with today's result. It's not over yet, actually. Carl on the corner, looking to whip in. This is 2 home games in a row we've had as well, which is really good. Fisher gets on the end of it. Mikael Fisher, the centre-back, with a striker's finish, just hit it very, very cleanly. And that's very good for us because, like I say, we haven't won in a while. So a good win against a bad side just gives us that confidence to go into the other games, which are just as important to keeping us up into this league so that hopefully next season we can build on it. A relegation would really be bad for this club because there's no money in the club anyway. A relegation would be so bad. Tiedemann does really well there to turn, but then it's a very sloppy pass, and now I'm starting to see where some of this little inexperience is. Good ball over the top. Yegbe not really dealing with it, and Hutters, I mean, he should be saving that, man. Sterling Yateke, which is a fantastic name, puts it in. He should be saving that. It's not a hard effort. It was hit well, but it wasn't that far away from him. It wasn't right in the corner. He should be getting across to it. He doesn't. But thankfully we win 5-1. Another, I think, a very good performance. It was obviously, I thought it was a decent performance in the first game, but that's obviously really good. Aalborg did win their game. So it's very much all to play for. 3 points behind first of this group. 3 points behind the relegation spots. Obviously, I think last is definitely going to be taken up by these lot. That's basically a free hit, whoever plays them. So, yeah, good stuff. So, like I say, there's another player going. Big crap German striker. We did bring in some youngsters, so I'll just show you those if I can remember them. So these were, I believe, the 3. I think there might be more joining, to be fair. I can't remember. It'll be in here somewhere. All the youngsters we signed. Where are they? Yeah, here we go. So, Anders Falk is a left back, 5-star potential. Daniel Mortensen, a left winger, 5-star potential. Brian Nissen, a left winger, 4.5-star potentially, 5-star potential. Bjorn Ostergaard, 5-star potential, centre mid. Peter Huldal, goalkeeper, 3-star potentially, 4-star potential. When I say 5-star, I do count the last one because I like to be optimistic. Lunding, not London, 5-star centre back potential. Hassan Sadia, Danish striker, 4-star potential. And and then that's so a good batch of youngsters coming in again. All on young contracts, all on not much money. So it's looking a lot better. We are currently spending 244k after letting players go. Committed spending still 242k. I'm not sure about that. I don't think that adds up because we've got about 37. Okay, well, we'll see. Maybe that's about right. I don't know. But yeah, we obviously have upped the wage budget by putting all the transfer money that we're going to make into wages. So yeah, we hopefully will be okay. Next season's is about 200k, they reckon. So we may have to sell some players still. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll obviously keep an eye on any offers. Obviously, if we get like a big offer for if we were to get like 17.5 mil for him, as much as he's probably got 5-star potential, you just take it because it fixes like most of our problems. So we will keep an eye on everything. We will keep progressing on. I don't know how far do we want to go. So obviously we want to do this for the last games. Probably somewhere in the middle. Do we just come back for those last 2? I don't want to go too far ahead. But then I don't want a huge... We've already played these. See, the thing is, we've already played a lot of these teams now. Played Viborg, we've played Kolding, so I don't really want to come back in the middle when we've just played them. Let's just come back for the last 2. I don't think that, we'll keep playing. Yeah, we'll come back for the last 2 games of this little relegation stage, and we'll play these ones in between. Like I say, we're still learning the team, so Or do we? No, we must come back. We got to come back earlier than that. That's too big of a gap. Let's come back for. Yeah. No. No, let's just do the last two. We'll come out for the last two. Viborg, who've played already, somehow still playing them again, and Norgeland. We'll just come back for the last two. That should be. Those will be two teams up and around that. So, yeah, between these, we'll play these off camera. Hopefully get a lay of the land. Hopefully move some more players on and know more about the club. Hopefully start to fix some of this. And some of this and some of this and all this rubbish. So hopefully fix the club. This has been a long episode. Hope you enjoyed it as a first parter, and I'll see you all for that next episode of the European Journeyman very soon.